all you bits and bobs out there, it's your boy Pixcelation, and it has been a little bit since y'all seen my face, I guess. I want to do something different today with today's video. Lately, it may seem to y'all that I haven't been getting a whole lot done, and that is, there is a good reason for that. But I won't get into that here. What I want to do, okay, I want to explain a little bit, because, if you've dabbled in any kind of content creation, you will know that when you first start making videos, one of the things that you need to decide first and foremost is, are you going to rely solely on scripted content, or are you going to rely solely on non-scripted content? Now, I have always leaned on the side of scripted content because I have anxiety, and speaking on end like I'm doing now is terrifying to me. Weirdly enough, I can do it at panels. At cons, I have no problem speaking in front of a crowd and just saying, just stream of consciousness, right? But for some reason, when it's in a setting like this, where I have lights and I've got a camera, I don't know why, but for some reason, it's terrifying to me. So I want to fix that. I want to make it so that it's not terrifying, because I think that one of the main things that prevents me from making content more often is that I insist on scripting my videos. And while that has done me some good for the most part, I do think that if I allowed myself to do more off-the-cuff videos like this, that I would probably be able to get more stuff out more often. So, that's the premise for this video. So, some of you may be aware that, depending on when you're watching this, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed is out. It has been released into the great wide ether, and I was lucky enough, thanks to THQ Nordic and Black Forest Games, I have been given a review copy of it, and to fulfill my end of the bargain where that's concerned, instead of doing a whole big ol' shindig, I figure I will just talk about the game. A little backstory. I played about, I'd say, 45% of the original game way back in the day when it came out on PS2, I want to say. And I liked it. I was still a little baby. I was a single solitary baby pixel. And I liked it though. It was fun. I thought it was funny. Probably didn't understand half the shit that was going on, but whatever. And I never beat it though. I don't think I did anyway. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember, because this was back in, I don't know, when did the first one come out? Probably 04 or 05, somewhere around there. And I never touched the series again. I know that it went on. I think it had 4 games total. And even in 2020, when they re-released the original game, I was interested in replaying it, but I never got around to it, right? And so now, here I am. With that being said, here I am getting a review copy for Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. And I'll be real, it's a very fun game, but I have to be real with y'all when I say that. Okay, so if you've played any of the Destroy All Humans games, and I say that having played, I just admitted that I've only played 45% of the first game, but if you've played them, you kind of know what you're gonna get yourself into, right? You play as Crypto Spiridium, whatever number he is in the first game, but in the second one he is Crypto Spiridium 138, I want to say, and they don't really. It's hard for me to say that you need to play the first game. right? They make it very clear what the scenario is at the beginning of Destroy All Humans 2. So if you've been like, just right off the bat, if you have any doubts about playing this game because you haven't played the first one, you don't have to worry about that, because they make it very clear. You can kind of fill in the blanks yourself. I mean, if you want to play the first one, nobody's going to stop you, obviously, but you don't need to play the first one. It kind of fills you in on the scenario and what's going on. It's been 10 years, I think, in universe since the original game, and Crypto is apparently the president, okay? And you find yourself in Bay City, which is the analog, I suppose, to San Francisco, in 1969. You know, Summer of Love era, a lot of hippies around. You get the idea. And honestly, it doesn't really drag its feet in terms of throwing you into the action. That's one thing I really, really appreciate about it, is it has a cutscene that, it's a fair length, but like it doesn't like drag itself on forever. It just tells you what you need to know, and then it throws you into the action. That being said, though, the action is a little repetitive, I won't lie. That is one area where I think that they might have benefited, I guess, from adjusting the gameplay loop. The gameplay is largely broken up into smaller missions that make up a larger map. So you have 5 maps in total, and each map has 5 or 6 main story missions, and that's how you progress, right? You complete those missions. Now there are side missions called like odd jobs, I think they're called, and I've only played one of those so far, so I can't really comment too much on those. But I will say that in terms of the missions, I kind of. So I guess I should say first and foremost that I have not beaten it as of recording this, but I've made it to the second to last area, the second to last map, so to speak, and so that's. I mean, I feel like I've played enough of it to comment on this, but it genuinely does feel like really repetitive, right? I found myself kind of like predicting certain elements based on where it's gone in the past. Like, and that's not a bad thing, so to speak. It's just, I don't know. There's no real surprises left over, I guess. It's one of those games where you kind of, once you've played half of it, you kind of have played the whole thing, if that makes sense. It is a really, really fun game, I'm not gonna lie. But the bosses, which is honestly one reason why I haven't beaten it yet, one of the bosses in the 4th map is very, very, very hard. Actually, the boss in the 3rd map is also very hard. I don't know how I beat them, but I did somehow. But the one in the 4th one really stumped me. I haven't rage quitted yet, but I definitely am not in any hurry to play through this to figure out the secret. The bosses are bullet sponges, if that makes sense. What I imagine to be the most fun part about the Destroy All Humans series, based off of what I've played, is getting in your saucer and being able to destroy things, right? And there definitely are segments in this game where you can get in your saucer and destroy things. But that's not the primary motivation, right? But even that being said, even if there are other small sub-missions to do while you're in your saucer, that's fine. I'm fine with that. It's when they are like, get in your saucer and just unleash devastation on this one overpowered target, right? That is, especially when your weapons don't really do jack shit, okay? That is the thing that I don't like about this game, is that the bosses are bullet sponges. They're the damage sponges. They will take in so much damage, and then whenever they attack you, it's the input to output is not equal. I'm sorry, it's not, and it just gets really frustrating. Even more so whenever like I went and found a video from the same boss in the original game, and this person had absolutely no problems inching down the boss's health bar. But I would sit there and hold my death ray on the boss for like 10 seconds, and it would just inch. Need a bit of time. And I'm just like, So, that being said, they somehow managed to take what should be a very fun, very funny in some cases segment of the game, and they just made it really unfun. Just because it's like, it'd be different. I'm not saying for it to be like easy. I'm just saying I want it to be doable. When you have to focus your fire on one target, and you have 10 to 20 other towers and enemies around you that are all firing on you at once, plus the target you're firing on, it's very difficult to focus. Even if you take the time to eliminate as much as you can, it's still not something that I could do. I even tried that, but the boss alone has an awesome amount of firepower, and I mean awesome in the sense of there's a lot of it, and it's not that it's good. That it ceases to be fun, you know. I was even on the easiest difficulty, and that's my experience. I think they are probably going to have to put out a patch for it, but the point of the matter is that they really need to adjust some of the parameters of the bosses, because they are just, they're too much for the average player. And if anyone's the average player, it's going to be me. I'm bad at video games. But, so also something that I wanted to bring up real briefly. I say briefly, but I'll probably go on a tangent for about 10 minutes on this, but it's fine. It's not the biggest deal to me, right? That they did not really change any of the humor, the writing or anything. I'm pretty sure there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the game, and it's in alien speak. Like they didn't exactly say this word for word, but the implication was that this game has been, in terms of the writing, the jokes, the characters, all that, have remained unchanged since the original release. So, just imagine for a moment the things that we found funny in 2006. They're not funny anymore. Okay. I mean, at least in my case, there's a lot of things that I found funny in 2006 that are not funny to me anymore, because I've grown up, because I've matured my sense of humor, I guess. I don't know. But the point of the matter is that while there is still a lot in this game that is funny, there is also a lot that is not. Namely, going to the level in the game that is themed after Japan, and hearing Yuri Lowenthal doing a very, very bad, very cringy Japanese accent. I mean, look, Yuri, if by some chance you're watching this, I love you. You are one of my favorite voice actors, but that was... And I know that I'm not blaming you at all for this, but that was not a good call on the director's part, retroactively anyway. I know that back then, it might have been a little more accepted. Now, not so much. But it's one of those things where it's just like, you hear that, especially for someone who, like, I recognize certain actors immediately when I hear them. And Yuri's one of those actors that I recognize immediately when I hear them, because it's just like, oh, okay, Yuri's in this. And I even looked it up to make sure that, you know, he was in it. He's in this, and he is the characters that I mean. But it's just, it's just not something I expected, I guess, if that makes sense. But, yeah, no, I mean, there are certain things that are just not okay in this game, for 2022 standards anyway. Crypto and Pox are the saving grace of the writing. I think that their dialogue back and forth is phenomenal. I love it. There's one instance in particular that I really liked, and that was the in the Japan segment as well. There is there's a segment or an exchange between Crypto and Pox that made me laugh genuinely. And it's when the giant Kojira monster, the kaiju, comes out, and Crypto's like,
"So you want me to hunt down this monstrosity and put it out of its misery?"
And Pox is like,
"Actually, I want you to read its mind and intuit the source of its cognitive dissonance, so we can get it some help and over time teach it confidence and self-esteem."
You gotta be kidding me.
Of course I am, you mutation! Now go kill that thing!
And I just found that to be really funny. I think that it was genuinely, like, I was not expecting that exchange, and when I heard it, I was like, just the delivery was fantastic. Their back and forth is phenomenal. I appreciate that so much. But yeah, no, I mean, I think generally speaking, if you are excited about Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, I think that it's definitely, you should probably go ahead and pick it up. I think that it's, if you played it back in the day and you enjoyed it, it's definitely, like I said, the same game. I mean, they did add some quality of life improvements. I'm not quite sure. The question of whether or not this is a remake or not, I mean, there are some major changes aside from the unchanged character writing and humor. According to fandom, actually, there were some art changes and some movement changes in Crypto's capabilities and movement. The text diagrams are different. Certain ambient environment elements are different. There are some actual ability changes that were designed to be more like Path of the Furon. There are some changes to the game itself. It's just that I believe that the writing, the character the character writing, and the humor is all unchanged from the original release. But yeah, no, I mean, if you liked this game way back then yeah, I definitely think you should play this, because it's gonna be a little trip down memory lane for you. It's gonna be, it's just, and plus, even if you didn't play it, like I said, I didn't play it, but I do find myself having a good time with it. It's just that it's very hard, and I'm a little pansy. But that being said, that's my thoughts on Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. If you played this game and you like it, let me know in the comments. If you haven't played it and you were curious, and this helped you in any way decide whether or not you're gonna buy it or not, I would love to hear from you as well. If you like this kind of video, please let me know. And also, if you just don't like this kind of video and you want me to get back to scripted content, let me know too, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of talking about video games. Yeah, in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Y'all stay pixelated, and I will see y'all in the next one.